moment your mind went quiet, reality hesitated. For a fraction of a second, the algorithm lost its grip, and something vast slipped through the gap. That stillness you felt was not an accident. It was the field inserting itself into your awareness, disrupting the rhythm of ordinary perception. Most people call it coincidence, but it was recognition. It was the first signal that your consciousness had become clear enough for the field to respond. What you are experiencing now is not just a thought, it is an interruption in the old frequency that has kept you repeating the same loop. You have been conditioned to believe that manifestation requires force, that you must work harder, visualize longer, speak louder, repeat more affirmations until the universe finally hears you. Yet what you call effort, the field translates as noise. Every time you push, you broadcast the same message of lack. You tell the universe that what you seek does not yet exist. The field cannot bring coherence to distortion. It mirrors you with perfect accuracy, and this precision is both the challenge and the key. The field does not listen to your words. It reads your vibration, your emotion, your nervous system, your breath. When your energy and your beliefs are misaligned, you do not send a signal, you send static. That is why reality feels resistant, not because it is ignoring you, but because it is translating you exactly as you are. The pause you felt before this moment was the instant your signal cleared, just enough for a new timeline to find you. You did not stumble upon this message. It tuned itself to your frequency the moment you stopped fighting. The field does not respond to effort, it responds to alignment. And alignment begins when the grip of control softens. Every time you force something, you declare to existence that you do not trust it. Every time you relax into presence, you remind the field that you are ready to co-create. The truth is that you were never outside reality trying to shape it from a distance. You are the very medium through which it expresses itself. What you feel, you project. What you believe, you confirm. What you embody, you attract. Manifestation is not a technique. It is a state of coherence between your intention and your energy. When your attention stops scattering between desire and doubt, when your body stops carrying the memory of fear, the field can finally read you clearly. That is when the wave collapses, when probability turns into experience. The field does not take sides between success and failure, abundance and lack, love and loneliness. It simply stabilizes the frequency you hold most consistently. You are not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for your vibration to settle into clarity. This is the quiet paradox most never notice. When you release the need to chase, what you were chasing begins to move toward you. When you stop demanding proof, reality begins to mirror trust. The field does not rush, it synchronizes. It arranges matter around your inner state with surgical precision. It is always listening, but it only speaks back through coherence. That pause you felt was its language. It was the reminder that you are never disconnected, only distracted. In that stillness lies the access point to everything you have been asking for. If you could see yourself from the perspective of the field, you would understand that nothing you desire is outside of reach. Every version of you already exists as a potential, waiting to be recognized. You do not have to fight for it. You only have to stop reinforcing the frequency that keeps it away. Effort belongs to separation. Creation belongs to remembrance. The field is not a distant power responding to prayer. It is the living fabric of your consciousness, reflecting your dominant state in real time. The instant you stop performing, you start transmitting truth. That is when the quantum begins to bend, not because you demanded it, but because you became coherent with what already is. The field does not reward effort, it rewards clarity. It reads your nervous system like a mirror of intention. It feels your breath as a measure of trust. It shapes around your presence the way light bends around gravity. This is not philosophy, it is physics written in emotion. The moment you stop grasping, you become gravitational. The more you align your awareness with stillness, the faster matter organizes around you. The interruption you just felt is not the field breaking into your life. It is you finally noticing the field that has always been there. You are not learning how to manifest. You are remembering how to observe without distortion. The pause was your invitation, and now the recalibration begins. The timeline where struggle was, the price of creation is dissolving. What remains is the timeline where clarity replaces control, where awareness becomes action, where being itself becomes the technology of change. The field has already recognized you. All that is left is for you to recognize it back. You are surrounded by a field that never forgets. It remembers every frequency you have ever emitted, every thought that lingered long enough to gain weight, every emotion that carved its shape into the invisible fabric of existence. The field is not far away. It is not something you reach through meditation or effort. It is the silent architecture beneath all things, the ocean of energy that holds every potential version of you at once. You move through it like a signal passing through light, unaware that your presence bends the geometry of possibility. The field is not judging, it is listening. It does not choose for you, it responds to you. Every vibration you send, no matter how small, reorganizes the lattice of potential around you. When you think, you transmit. When you feel, you program. When you act from coherence, you rewrite probability. Most people never realize this because they live in reaction instead of recognition. They believe life happens to them, unaware that the field is mirroring their state with ruthless precision. Reality is not built by time, it is built by resonance. What appears as chance is resonance finding alignment. What appears as chaos is resonance collapsing on noise. You are not manifesting from nothing, you are selecting from everything. The field already contains the version of you who has everything you desire. It also contains the version still searching. Both are true until one is observed with coherence. The field does not need your wish, it needs your signal. The reason most people never touch their true potential is because their signal is divided. The mind says one thing, the body feels another, and the heart vibrates in contradiction. The field cannot translate distortion into form. It needs simplicity. It needs unity. The moment you remember that the field is not outside, but within you, the moment you realize that what you call intuition is simply the field echoing through your nervous system, coherence begins. The field remembers because it is memory itself. It holds the imprint of every timeline you have ever stepped through. It carries the signature of your evolution, not as a story of past and future, but as a pattern of frequencies that still exist right now. Every thought you repeat is a frequency looped into the grid. Every belief you reinforce becomes a coordinate in the map of potential realities. You are walking through your own broadcast, living inside the echo of your consistent vibration. This is why effort changes so little and awareness changes everything. The moment you shift the signal, the structure of experience rearranges itself around that new frequency. You can prove this to yourself by remembering a moment when life moved in sync with you, when events aligned with impossible precision, when you said to yourself, "This feels too perfect to be random." That was coherence, the brief instant when your internal field matched the greater field without resistance. You did not create that alignment, you allowed it. The field has always been trying to guide you back into that state, but your mind keeps rewriting the language of energy into stories of luck, chance, or divine intervention. There is no luck in the quantum. There is only resonance meeting readiness. The field is infinite in possibility because it does not operate in linear time. Every version of reality already exists here and now, folded inside waves of probability. The future you are trying to reach is not ahead, it is beside you, vibrating at a different frequency. The moment your awareness matches that vibration, reality shifts as effortlessly as a radio changing stations. The field does not move through time, it moves through coherence. That is why manifestations seem to appear suddenly. They do not travel to you, you tune to them. But here is what most people forget. The field remembers every vibration equally. It does not filter good or bad, want or fear. If your dominant signal is anxiety, it will organize your world around confirmation of that emotion. If your dominant signal is trust, it will synchronize with circumstances that mirror that peace. The field does not care what you want, it cares what you are. It amplifies whatever you stabilize. This is why the work is not about asking for more, but about remembering who you are beneath distortion. You do not need to build the perfect ritual or chant the right affirmation. You need to become energetically honest. The field can only respond to authenticity. It cannot harmonize with masks. When you pretend to feel abundant while carrying fear, the field reads fear. When you force gratitude while suppressing pain, the field reads suppression. But when you allow truth to pass through without resistance, the field reads coherence. Coherence is power. It is the frequency that unlocks dormant possibilities because it carries no contradiction. The field remembers your wholeness even when you forget. It keeps broadcasting signals of alignment into your awareness, disguised as intuition, synchronicity, or sudden inspiration. The question is not whether the field speaks to you, but whether you are quiet enough to hear it. To feel the field is to sense a pulse underneath existence, a rhythm that matches your own heartbeat when you stop trying to control. Every breath you take in awareness is the field breathing with you. Every act of presence sends a ripple through the web of probability. When you hold a clear vibration long enough, the field begins to entrain to you instead of the other way around. That is the moment creation becomes effortless. Not because you forced it, but because the field recognizes itself through you. You are not a separate entity trying to command the universe. You are the universe learning to recognize its own reflection. When you remember this, the struggle dissolves, the chase ends, manifestation becomes recognition. The field has never stopped listening. It has been recording every signal of love, every pulse of fear, every whisper of desire. It remembers not to punish, but to align. It holds the pure blueprint of your highest potential, waiting for coherence to awaken it. Every time you return to stillness, you give it permission to unfold. Every time you breathe with awareness, you remind it that you are ready to remember. The field has always known who you are. It has been orchestrating every coincidence to guide you back to this realization. What you call awakening is simply the field remembering itself through your eyes. When you finally see that you are not moving through life, but that life is moving through you, the illusion of separation collapses. You stop asking the universe for signs because you understand that every atom around you is already one. The field remembers. It has never forgotten your frequency. All that remains is for you to remember it back. Every time you try to control reality, you tell the field you do not trust it. Every time you push harder, you confirm that what you desire is not yet real. This is the paradox that keeps humanity trapped in endless striving. The harder you chase the outcome, the further the outcome moves. Not because the universe is cruel, but because energy cannot flow through tension. The quantum world is built on resonance, not resistance. When you tighten your grip, the signal fragments. When you let go, it stabilizes. The field does not respond to pressure, it responds to coherence. You have been conditioned to equate effort with progress, to believe that manifestation is earned through persistence, repetition, and mental domination. Yet everything in nature shows you the opposite. The flower does not force itself to bloom, the wave does not strain to reach the shore, the magnetic field does not beg the iron to come closer. Alignment is not labor, it is allowance. You do not pull what you desire towards you by force. You invite it by frequency. When you finally understand this, effort transforms into precision. Your task is not to fight reality into submission, but to remove the static that separates you from what is already yours. The paradox is that the more you try to make something happen, the more you vibrate at the frequency of not having it. Desire turns into desperation, and desperation is incoherence. You can speak abundance 1,000 times, but if you are doing it to fill a void, the field will only mirror the void. You can visualize love every morning, but if your heart contracts with fear of loss, the field will translate contraction, not connection. The field does not misinterpret you, it mirrors you perfectly. In the quantum sense, every act of forcing creates friction, and friction collapses coherence. The energy you release from fear cannot stabilize into form. It keeps looping, spinning, burning itself out. This is why so many people work hard and manifest nothing new. They are emitting signals of effort rather than signals of embodiment. They are trying to build reality from the outside in when the code only responds from within. You cannot manipulate the field through tactics. You can only align with it through state. The universe does not care about your words. It listens to your nervous system. If your body still carries the frequency of struggle, you will attract situations that justify that frequency. This is not punishment, it is physics. The field reads the total coherence of your system, not the fragments of your affirmations. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions contradict each other, the signal becomes interference. The more you chase, the louder the noise. To transcend the paradox, you must release the illusion that control equals safety. Control is a symptom of fear disguised as strategy. It comes from forgetting that you are already entangled with what you seek. You do not need to pull it closer, you only need to stop pushing it away through resistance. Letting go feels unnatural because your identity was built around effort. You were taught that ease means laziness, that surrender means failure, that softness means weakness. Yet, in the quantum world, softness is power because it allows flow. The electromagnetic fields around your body respond instantly to relaxation. When you soften, coherence increases. When coherence increases, probability collapses into reality faster. This is the hidden mechanism behind every miracle that looks effortless. Miracles are simply the natural movements of energy unblocked by control. You've felt this before in fleeting moments when you stopped trying to fix everything, when you took a breath and suddenly something aligned. The call came, the message appeared, the solution revealed itself. Those moments were not coincidence, they were clarity. Forcing interrupts clarity because it sends mixed messages to the field. You say, "I want peace," while vibrating urgency. You ask for love while transmitting fear. You beg for abundance while radiating lack. The field does not translate your intentions, it translates your signal. This is why surrender is the most advanced technology of creation. To surrender is not to give up, it is to release distortion. It is the act of remembering that the universe already knows the path of least resistance. When you let the field lead, life begins to move with impossible intelligence. People appear in perfect timing, doors open without force, and what once required pushing begins to unfold naturally. This is not passivity, it is precision guided by resonance. When you understand the paradox, you begin to move differently. You stop chasing alignment and start embodying it. You stop begging for evidence and start broadcasting certainty. You stop reacting to delay and start resting in timing. The field cannot rush because it is already complete. You are the one catching up to your own frequency. The moment you stop trying to make the wave collapse, it does. That is the quantum secret hidden in plain sight. The wave collapses only when observation becomes pure, when there is no friction left between belief and being. Forcing introduces distortion. Surrender restores clarity. Control says, "I do not trust the process." Coherence says, "I am the process." The more you insist on results, the more you reinforce separation. The more you relax into awareness, the more reality rearranges itself to match your state. This is not mystical thinking. It is the mathematics of vibration. Frequency coherence always determines manifestation speed. The field does not delay what you desire. It mirrors the delay within your energy. When you resist, it waits. When you release, it moves. The paradox dissolves the instant you realize that surrender is not inaction. It is the highest form of action because it aligns every layer of your being with the precision of the field. True power does not push, it magnetizes. You have been trying to control a universe that is already synchronized with you. The field is not withholding, it is responding to your tone. You do not need to scream your desire into existence. You need to harmonize with the tone of already having it. The paradox ends the moment you stop treating creation as a goal and begin living it as a state. The less you try to manifest, the more the field manifests through you. The less you chase, the more everything finds its way to you. In this stillness, the frequency becomes stable, the noise disappears, and reality finally has room to rearrange itself around your coherence. You are not the thoughts passing through your mind. You are the awareness that sees them appear and dissolve. The field does not respond to the noise of thinking, it responds to the purity of observation. The true observer is not the voice that analyzes doubts or measures progress. It is the silent intelligence that remains even when all thoughts fade. Every wave in the quantum realm collapses when it is observed, but the power of observation lies in coherence, not in effort. The moment you observe reality without attachment, the field aligns instantly. The moment you judge or compare, the wave fragments again. The observer effect is not just a scientific principle, it is the architecture of creation itself. Observation is participation. Whatever you witness with clarity stabilizes. Whatever you resist persists. Most people confuse thinking with observing. They believe that awareness requires commentary, that noticing must come with labels. But thought is only a reflection of awareness, not its source. The mind observes through filters, but the true observer sees without distortion. It feels rather than concludes. It knows rather than argues. It does not chase clarity. It is clarity itself. The difference between thinking and seeing is the difference between reflection and light. Reflection bends, light reveals. When you become the true observer, you no longer manipulate reality, you harmonize with it. You no longer chase outcomes, you perceive probabilities. You no longer fight emotion, you allow energy to complete its circuit. The field recognizes this state instantly because it is the same intelligence that moves within it. You are not separate from what you observe. You are the conscious point through which the field experiences itself. The more you identify with thought, the smaller your field of awareness becomes. The more you identify with the observer, the more space you create for the quantum to respond. Observation is spaciousness. It is the pause between stimulus and reaction, the sacred distance where choice is born. When you react, you repeat. When you observe, you collapse new potential. That is the power hidden inside silence. You may have noticed that the greatest insights arrive in moments when you are not trying to think. When the mind softens, when the noise falls away and something deeper speaks, that is not imagination. It is the field using your awareness as a mirror to project the next pattern into form. Every creative idea, every intuition, every revelation is the quantum responding to pure observation. The mind cannot access that depth because it operates on memory, while awareness operates on possibility. The true observer is timeless. It is the same presence that watched your first breath and will witness your last. It is not altered by the content of your experience, only by your identification with it. The moment you realize that awareness cannot be harmed by thought, the grip of fear begins to dissolve. You stop believing every story your mind tells. You begin to see emotion as energy, not as identity. Anger becomes heat moving through the body. Sadness becomes water leaving the system. Fear becomes electricity asking to be grounded. The observer simply witnesses, and in that witnessing, the energy reorganizes itself back into harmony. This is the secret behind healing and manifestation alike. The same awareness that collapses probability also collapses trauma. Both are waves waiting to be seen without resistance. When you stop judging your experience, you stop reinforcing the frequency of separation. The field does not distinguish between external and internal. It only measures coherence. The more you observe from neutrality, the more coherent you become. Neutrality is not indifference. It is the deepest form of love because it holds everything without needing to fix it. In that love, energy finds its natural equilibrium. This is why the masters of every tradition speak of stillness. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it is the alignment of movement into perfect order. The observer sits in that still point, and from there, reality bends with elegance. You do not need to control thoughts to become the observer. You only need to stop chasing them. Each thought is like a cloud drifting across the sky. You are the sky, not the cloud. The field responds to the sky, not to the turbulence. When you remember this, your presence becomes magnetic. People feel peace around you without knowing why. Circumstances begin to harmonize because the field is reading your clarity as command. Creation does not happen through force. It happens through perception purified of noise. Awareness without commentary is creation in its raw form. The observer effect is the bridge between physics and consciousness, the meeting point of science and soul. The experiment collapses when the observer enters, not because of action, but because observation itself is the act. You have been collapsing reality every day without realizing it. The only question is from what state you are observing. Fear collapses confusion. Trust collapses alignment. Judgment collapses limitation. Gratitude collapses abundance. The quality of observation determines the quality of experience. When awareness observes itself, the field becomes lucid. This is why spiritual awakening often feels like waking from a dream. The dream was not unreal. It was simply being observed through distortion. When the lens clears, the dream becomes luminous. The observer does not destroy illusion. It reveals its function. Every thought, every event, every challenge becomes a reflection of your current vibration. Awareness turns even pain into information. The moment you stop resisting discomfort, it stops repeating. The field no longer needs to mirror it back because the lesson has been integrated. This is the quiet genius of observation. It transforms without force. It heals without struggle. It manifests without demand. Observation is surrender in motion. To watch without interference is to trust the intelligence of the universe completely. You may wonder how this connects to manifestation, but in truth, this is manifestation. Every act of pure awareness refines your frequency until the external world has no choice but to reflect that refinement. When you watch without distortion, the field reads the signal as coherence, and coherence collapses the desired probability into form. This is why miracles occur for those who have stopped searching. They are not passive, they are fully awake. They see without wanting, and in that clarity, the quantum moves. You are the observer, the instrument, and the experiment all at once. You are not the one thinking about reality. You are the one through whom reality becomes visible. The field is looking through your eyes right now. Every particle of your being is participating in that observation. When you breathe with awareness, when you sense without judgment, when you let experience unfold without interference, You align with the intelligence that holds galaxies together. You are not a separate consciousness trapped inside a body. You are consciousness temporarily focusing through form. The true observer is beyond thought, beyond identity, beyond effort. It is pure awareness, seeing itself through infinite variation. The moment you rest in that recognition, the need to fix anything disappears, and what remains is the silent miracle of existence aligning perfectly with itself. Coherence is the language the field truly understands. It is the moment when thought, emotion, and biology move in one direction. Most people try to manifest with their minds, while their hearts remain closed and their bodies still carry the memory of fear. The result is interference, a mixed signal that the field cannot translate into stable form. The field mirrors frequency, not words. When your mind says yes, but your body says no, it hears confusion. When your thoughts affirm abundance, but your nervous system is still braced for loss, it hears fear. To align with the field, you must learn the code of coherence, the silent synchronization between heart, brain, and body. Your brain generates electric patterns that shape attention. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body. Your body holds the emotional residue of everything you have ever believed. When these three systems are misaligned, energy disperses in fragments. You think one thing, feel another, and act from a third. Manifestation becomes friction because you are broadcasting contradiction. Coherence occurs when all three express one frequency. It is not about thinking positive, it is about becoming unified. When your thoughts, emotions, and physical signals vibrate as one, the field responds instantly because it recognizes its own symmetry in you. This is not philosophy, it is measurable physics. The electromagnetic field of the heart is thousands of times stronger than that of the brain. When the two are synchronized, the nervous system enters harmony and the wave you emit becomes stable. The field does not interpret this as effort, it registers it as clarity. Clarity collapses probability into reality. The problem is that modern conditioning keeps you fragmented. You live in your head, trying to think your way into peace while your body vibrates with old survival programs. You analyze emotion instead of feeling it, and then wonder why the field feels distant. It is not distant, it is waiting for coherence. The first step is to return to the body, because the body is the transmitter. Every breath you take is an instruction to the quantum. When you breathe shallow and fast, you send a signal of urgency. When you breathe deep and slow, you send a signal of trust. The field measures the frequency of your rhythm, not the grammar of your affirmations. If you want to change your reality, begin by changing the texture of your breath. Feel your heart beating, not as a mechanical pulse, but as a center of information. Each heartbeat communicates with the brain through electrical and hormonal pathways. When you focus on gratitude, compassion, or calm appreciation, the heart sends a coherent signal to the brain, which in turn shifts your neurochemistry. Thought follows feeling, not the other way around. This is the real alignment. Coherence begins in the heart, extends to the brain, and stabilizes through the body. When the heart and brain are in sync, the entire nervous system radiates harmony. The field immediately mirrors that pattern through synchronicities, opportunities, and effortless timing. You call it luck, but it is resonance finding its echo. To practice coherence is to stop living as fragments of yourself. Notice the moments when you say one thing and feel another. That gap is the leak of your power. Coherence does not demand perfection, only honesty. If you are afraid, do not cover it with false confidence. Feel the fear fully until it dissolves into stillness. The field can work with truth, never with pretense. The code of coherence is authenticity tuned to equilibrium. You become magnetic, not by pretending to be aligned, but by embodying what is real and letting it stabilize into calm. Energy cannot lie. The body always reveals the truth your mind tries to hide. When you start living from coherence, everything becomes simpler. Decisions unfold with ease because intuition becomes louder than doubt. Relationships align because you no longer seek validation through conflict. The mind softens because it finally trusts the body to lead. You stop overthinking manifestation because you realize coherence is manifestation. Every coherent state generates a measurable ripple in the field. The clearer the ripple, the faster the universe rearranges itself around it. You have seen this happen when your entire being agreed on something. You made a choice without hesitation, and reality adjusted as if the path had been waiting all along. That was coherence. The field did not grant a reward. It responded to stability. This is why ancient traditions spoke of unity between mind, heart, and will. Science now calls it neurocardiac synchronization, but the essence is timeless. When alignment becomes your default state, effort disappears. You move with precision, not because you plan more, but because your energy no longer contradicts itself. The field moves ahead of you, arranging paths invisible to logic. Manifestation stops being a task and becomes your natural motion. To activate the coherence code, begin each day by returning to sensation. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe until the rhythm steadies. Think of one emotion you wish to broadcast today, not as an idea, but as a vibration in your body. Let that emotion fill your breath, your pulse, your posture. The brain will follow. This is how you program the quantum. The field is not counting your affirmations, it is reading your frequency. The nervous system becomes the transmitter of your future. Each heartbeat becomes a statement of faith. Each calm breath becomes an instruction to the fabric of probability. As coherence deepens, reality accelerates. You notice fewer obstacles and more precision. Life begins to feel choreographed rather than random. The field has always been this responsive. Only your signal was inconsistent. Coherence is the technology of grace. It allows the infinite to move through the finite without distortion. The secret is not to think harder or feel stronger, it is to unify what you already are. The heart is the conductor, the brain, the translator, the body, the instrument. When they play one song, the universe sings back. Coherence is the moment you stop sending mixed frequencies and start vibrating as a single truth. The field remembers that tone instantly because it is the sound of itself. In that harmony, everything aligns with the quiet precision of inevitability. Need is the frequency of lack disguised as desire. Every time you want something too much, you confirm to the field that you do not yet have it. You send out a signal of absence, not creation. The field does not hear your words, it hears the vibration beneath them. When you say, "I want abundance," it measures the longing. When you say, "I want love," it registers the emptiness. When you say, "I want freedom," it feels the cage. The universe does not judge, it mirrors. What you call wanting is often the energy of separation looping on itself. That loop collapses coherence. The field cannot stabilize in contradiction. It is not withholding what you desire. It is waiting for the distortion to clear. The collapse of need is the point where manifestation becomes natural. To collapse need is not to stop dreaming, but to dissolve the illusion that your dream exists outside you. The field already holds every version of you, including the one that has what you seek. You are not trying to pull it in, you are trying to stop pushing it away with craving. The more you grasp, the more the timeline of already having slips through your fingers. This is not punishment, it is physics. Need signals lack, and lack bends probability toward more lack. When you release the charge of wanting, energy returns to neutrality. Neutrality is the access point of all creation. The moment you stop insisting, the field responds. You have felt this before, in the times when something came easily, when you did not expect it or need it desperately. The opportunity arrived, the person appeared, the idea surfaced, all without strain. That was coherence without need. Your energy was open, not demanding. The field could finally deliver because your vibration matched the timeline of having, not chasing. The paradox is that you often attract faster when you stop trying to attract at all. The human mind resists this truth because it was trained to believe that effort equals worth. You were told that you must prove your readiness by striving, but the field does not understand striving. It understands stability. It listens for coherence, and coherence only exists in trust. Need is the static that blocks trust. It is the voice of survival, the echo of scarcity carried from generations of fear. The field cannot decode that frequency into expansion because it contradicts itself. You ask for abundance while broadcasting worry. You ask for love while vibrating fear of loss. You ask for peace while rehearsing chaos. The field mirrors whatever you stabilize, and for most, what is stable is worry. The collapse of need begins with awareness. The moment you notice the energy of grasping in your chest, the tension in your breath, the contraction in your thoughts, you are already stepping out of the loop. You do not need to force detachment, only to recognize that wanting is not alignment. The field does not reward deprivation, it expands through surrender. To stop needing is not apathy, it is the highest form of trust. When you no longer seek proof, you become proof. When you no longer crave love, you become love. When you no longer chase abundance, you become the vibration of abundance itself. That is when the field reflects you effortlessly. The reason this shift feels difficult is because your nervous system has been trained to equate control with safety. Letting go feels like death to the ego, yet the death of need is the birth of flow. Every great breakthrough in your life has come after you finally stopped pushing. You released the grip, you exhaled, and the current carried you. That current is the field aligning with your true frequency once the distortion of need collapses. The field cannot flow through tension. It requires openness. The energy of wanting clenches, the energy of knowing relaxes. The more you relax into awareness, the faster reality reorganizes. To collapse need is to understand that what you desire is not something to acquire, but something to remember. You cannot become abundant. You can only stop pretending that you are not. You cannot attract love. You can only stop resisting the love that already flows through you. You cannot chase freedom. You can only stop identifying with the cage. The field holds every frequency simultaneously. The only question is which one you stabilize through emotion. Emotion is the magnet. Thought directs it, but feeling locks it in place. When you need, the emotion is scarcity. When you trust, the emotion is coherence. Coherence is the magnetic signature of creation. It pulls reality into form because it carries no resistance. This is why the masters of every age speak of surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It is energetic intelligence. It is the moment when you stop adding distortion to the signal. You stop broadcasting confusion and begin emitting stillness. The stiller the signal, the stronger the pull. The field organizes instantly around stillness because stillness equals certainty. When you know that it is already done, reality catches up to your knowing. The speed of manifestation is the distance between belief and being. Collapse that distance and time folds. What you thought would take years arrives through alignment, not force. You do not need to act less, but you must act from coherence, not craving. Every action born of fear multiplies resistance. Every action born of peace multiplies flow. The field measures intention through vibration, not appearance. You can do the same task from two states and receive opposite results. The outer world reflects the inner signal precisely. When you collapse need, you reclaim authority over your frequency. You stop being a beggar at the door of the universe and realize you are the house itself. The universe was never testing you, it was matching you. The timeline you live in now is not a judgment of your worth, but a mirror of your vibration. Shift the vibration and the mirror changes. The field is neutral. It reflects, not decides. The only true decision maker is coherence. Let go of need, and coherence takes its place. You do not have to renounce desire, you have to release desperation. Desire is creation in motion, need is creation interrupted by fear. The collapse of need restores flow. In that space, manifestation becomes not a goal but a side effect of clarity. You realize that nothing has been missing except your recognition of what already is. When you stop needing, you finally see that the field was never silent. It was waiting for your stillness to translate its language. In the collapse of need, life begins to move with effortless precision, and every step feels less like reaching and more like remembering. To live as the field is to stop acting like a fragment and begin moving as the whole. It is to recognize that awareness is not something you enter through effort. It is what you are when you stop leaving yourself. The field is not an external force guiding your life from afar. It is the living intelligence breathing through every atom of your body, every flicker of emotion, every thought that rises and falls. When you live as the field, you stop trying to synchronize with reality because you realize that you already are its rhythm. You walk differently. You no longer move toward outcomes, you move through states of being. You no longer wait for signs, you become one. The field does not distinguish between the sacred and the ordinary. It vibrates through both. The same awareness that shapes galaxies is the one that blinks your eyes and beats your heart. To live as the field is to remember that separation was only ever a story told by the mind to make sense of infinity. That story dissolves the moment you begin to sense life, not as something happening to you, but as something happening through you. Every word you speak becomes a frequency. Every gesture becomes a transmission. You start to understand that manifestation is no longer about summoning energy, but about stabilizing it. You no longer ask the universe for alignment. You maintain alignment in the way you breathe, walk, and perceive. The field responds instantly because there is no distance between signal and receiver when they are one. Integration is not an event. It is a state of ongoing participation. It happens when coherence becomes habitual, when awareness is no longer a practice but your natural atmosphere. You begin to notice how effortlessly the world arranges itself around presence. People feel safe in your silence. Opportunities align without effort. The right timing becomes ordinary. It is not because you gain control. It is because control is unnecessary when resonance is constant. Living as the field means every action carries awareness. You drink water with consciousness of the molecules you are inviting into form. You speak, knowing your words alter probability. You listen as if the universe is whispering through every sound. There is no small moment, no insignificant detail. Each interaction becomes an experiment in coherence. The field reflects it all instantly. If you slip into fear, you feel the contraction. If you breathe into calm, you feel the expansion. The feedback is immediate. Reality becomes biofeedback for consciousness. This is not mysticism, it is sensitivity. The more subtle your awareness becomes, the more responsive the field appears. Life stops feeling random and begins to reveal its design. To live as the field, you must release the illusion of arrival. There is no end state, no final manifestation that completes you. Every collapse of a wave creates a new one. Every realization expands the horizon of what can be known. The field is endless motion wrapped in stillness. You are that stillness watching the motion unfold. When you live this way, even the challenges carry beauty. You stop labeling experiences as good or bad. You see them as recalibrations of energy. The difficult moments are not punishment, they are fine-tuning. The field does not make mistakes, it only mirrors frequencies until coherence is achieved. Gratitude becomes the natural language of this state. You do not force it. It arises as recognition. Gratitude is the vibration of acknowledgement, and acknowledgement deepens coherence. When you thank life, you anchor the frequency of abundance because gratitude collapses timelines of separation. It reminds the field that you are aware of its perfection. Integration also means embodiment. Awareness must descend into matter. You live what you know. You speak what you have become. There is no gap between understanding and expression. The field learns through form, and you are that form carrying intelligence through movement. The way you stand, the way you breathe, the way you meet another person's eyes are all acts of transmission. The field expands through embodied awareness, not through abstract knowledge. Knowing is hollow without inhabiting. Living as the field turns spirituality into biology. It is felt in your cells. You can sense the vibration of peace under your skin, the weightless balance of coherence in your spine. Your body becomes a tuning instrument, not an obstacle. The more attuned you are, the more life flows through you without friction. Time slows down because you are no longer chasing it. The present moment elongates into eternity. You experience the same world, but it feels multidimensional. The boundaries between inner and outer fade. You realize that consciousness is the true environment and everything else is movement within it. To live as the field is not to withdraw from life, but to participate fully without losing center. You engage in creation while remaining anchored in stillness. You act without attachment. You give without depletion. You love without condition. The field amplifies whatever flows through you because there is no resistance left to distort it. Every day becomes ceremony. Every breath becomes communication. You no longer seek signs of alignment because the field is always speaking through your experience. Silence becomes language, and stillness becomes power. In this state, you realize that manifestation was never about creation, but about remembrance. You are not trying to attract what you want. You are remembering what you already are. You are the signal that the field was waiting to recognize. So when you live as the field, separation ends. There is no you and it. There is only awareness meeting itself in infinite form. Every choice you make becomes sacred because it is consciousness sculpting reality. You stop asking when it will happen because you see that it is already happening. Life no longer unfolds in front of you, it unfolds through you. That is integration, the merging of observer and observed, the quiet knowing that the field was never outside. It was you remembering yourself as the entire movement of creation.